Hey there everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna revisit patch 1.40 and see what has changed as far as performance goes. Because I played and benchmarked it as soon as it came out. A couple months ago. I think it was late January, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, I'm kind of bad with dates. But anywho, visually, it looks different already. Like, it was already pretty impressive, now it looks even more impressive, if that's even possible. Like, I don't know how to explain, but yeah, it just looks better. The clouds, skybox in general looks very much nicer than stock, and shadows look crispier and deeper in a sense. I like that. So we're looking at 50 to 53% usage, 60 FPS, which is very nice. Let's unlock the frames now. So, video, graphics, we go and unlock the VSync disabled, so we can let it go as far as it wants. And we're gonna go on a short trip to Dresden, if I'm not wrong. Bremen. So we're driving from Dortmund to Bremen, which is a significantly short trip, but it's enough. And already I can say that is much better, like performance wise. We are using 116 frames, 90% load, 97% load, and just 14% load on a CPU, which is amazing. That is impressive. Okay, let's keep this on. Let's hop straight in and drive. So 89 FPS. We were struggling inside the cities to get even near 70, and we are using 81, 88 now, which is a lot better than before. So yeah, let's drive out of here, start the trip. But yeah, that's so much better already. Well, let's see if that's gonna remain within the same ballpark. Hopefully no stutters. One can hope. So let's just, I'm gonna try not screw things up here, because I usually make a lot of mistakes when I'm recording. Oh, driving. It doesn't really work that well. I should wait for that guy to pass, but you know what? Time is money, so it's just 75. Okay, so we've gotten the first massive drop already, which could also be due to my thermal throttling, because as you can tell, my frequency also went down significantly. So cannot blame the game like totally there, because it's hot as heck where I live, like actually very hot, annoyingly hot, and that's definitely affecting the temperatures. Does affecting the performance as well. Although hopefully not by a massive margin, but it's definitely affecting it a little bit. Oop, a little bit of background noise, sorry for that. Yeah, so far, from what I can tell, so it's looking a lot more matured compared to what it was before when I first tested it. Like significantly better performance wise. The trees are not flickering anymore. The grass seems to be okay as well, no more flickers, which is also a pretty good thing. Definitely a lot more mature than before, so one could say perhaps almost there already, which is a fair assumption, I mean, because the new DLC is coming in April, so, and the new DLC will bring will come with patch 1.40, so as for granted. So you can tell it has matured a lot, and performance has gotten much better. Now really fair numbers for a 2070. Honestly, I was a little bit disappointed at first with the sub 60 frames 1080p. That was a little concerning, because I mean, I know it's not like a creme de la creme graphics card by any means, but it doesn't usually do bad under load, and I was a little disappointed when I saw frames dipping below 60. Granted, I was using RTX voice, which I'm not now, so that we can get a better idea of how it actually runs without any other external influences. But even so, that was very disappointing. I was really concerned, because that meant, well, if it's dipping below 60, that means I might have to make a compromise here. It's not like, oh, below 60 equals unplayable. It's not what I mean. But you know, you want to stay within that range. You don't want to go under 60, because when it drops from 60 hertz, you can notice. That's the point. Like 75 to 70, you don't really notice much if you're running a 60 hertz panel. But if it dips from 60 to 57, that's very noticeable. It's like clear, right in your face, and it kind of annoys. It's very annoying, honestly. And that was what I was trying to avoid, so that would mean making a compromise on the visuals. And thankfully now I can run ultra without making that compromise, because we're looking at 83, solid 83, which is a pretty good number. And I cannot wait to see how American Truck runs under the same settings as well. I'm assuming performance might be very similar, if not better, because usually American Truck Sim runs better, which surprisingly enough didn't prove to be true with the early 140 patches, because American Truck was a nightmare at first. Like the benchmarks I've recorded were straight up painful, frames dropping near the low 50s, because Euro Truck dropped to like 55, 57. I've seen drops like 50 on American Truck, which was sad. But hopefully by now it has matured to a point where it doesn't happen anymore. That's what I'm hoping. And that's where we're gonna test eventually. That's the next video. So I'm taking a break with the whole emulator stuff. I know I've made a lot of videos on that already, so it's time to take a break and get back to benchmarking, which is something I really like to do as well. And yeah, it's a noticeable jump, definitely, from what we had before with Euro Truck Simulator. Like it's mind-blowing how much it has improved over time. Granted, I didn't really test after that benchmark I made. I didn't really touch the game anymore because I was playing other stuff and busy with university, so I didn't really get to try out much. But now this build compared to the early one is like night and day. Insane how much it has improved, not only performance-wise, which is noticeable right there. We're looking at locked 8180, which is pretty stable. We got down to 70s while driving in the city, but still very impressive numbers. It's not only on the performance part of things, the performance side of things, but also on the visual side. It's looking so much better. Like it was already a pretty nice jump. Like if you compare 139 to 140, you can tell it's a very different game in all sense, in every sense of the word, I mean. But now it's gotten even better. Like the complaints I had about the long distance blur and stuff, and the clouds getting kind of blurry from afar, it's not happening anymore. And you see that transition between things which are right on your face, like first plane to the second, third planes. They look decent. Like there's no blur anymore. It's a very seamless transition from the close range to the far range. I hope you guys can understand what I'm trying to convey here, because like it's not my native language, so I kind of sometimes I have a little bit of a hard time trying to convey stuff like that. But you know, like the close range is what was very clear, but once you got like far from that first pane, it just sort of, you know, got very blurry, and it was very unnatural in a sense. Because I mean, things get blurry from afar, but it's a gradual process, and it's not very. You know, it's just natural. I mean, if you look at the far range, like from this angle where we at right now, if you look at the cars disappearing at the far end of the image, you can see it's a very natural and seamless transition between the close range and the far range, and that was not as seamless before. It was way too blurry, way too unnatural. I didn't quite dig that, and now it's just perfect. Like they got it spot on. Like the distance where your eyes are actually not being able to, you know, be as clear anymore, to provide you a clear image anymore because of the distance, because it's a far range. Of course it tends to blur out, but it was too aggressive before, both with ground level stuff and also stuff on the sky, and now it looks very nice. So my only complaint that I had with the whole no graphics thing was that, and it's fixed. And also the flickering, which was all over the place, trees and grass and stuff, it was very annoying, and now it's gone, which is also a pretty nice thing. And the shadows look amazing. Like they're just so perfectly dark and so crisp. I love it. Because shadows were also a problem beforehand. 139 more specifically, like very aliased, you know. Even if you were to like put the graphics all the way up, you know, anti-aliasing and stuff, it would still be very aliased, and now it doesn't seem to be a problem anymore, which I do love as well. And still, like all the truck models and stuff, the cars, they just look different thanks to the new lighting as well. It makes them jump out, outstand like a real vehicle would, like a sort of PBR, but not PBR because it's not exactly PBR, but you can tell the material is much better now than it would be than beforehand. I mean, with the previous lighting system, so that's also a huge plus. I got 49 km to go. Frame's still around 80, even though we were getting a little bit of throttling. You can see my boost clock went to 1650 megahertz, which it was previously like 1800 something, 1850, 1870. So we got quite a drop on the frequency, which is then again nothing to do with the game itself. It's just the summer being an annoyance here. But yeah, frames still within the same ballpark all the time, which is very good. So we're not having any sort of weird oscillation. The frames are locked up where they should be, which warrants a very stable gameplay, which is good. You want to have your frames, you know, stable, not like rocking all over the place, 80 and then 70 and then 60. You know, you want to have them around the same range all the time, which is what we're achieving here. So that's a pretty decent plus, one could say. Almost there. Now we're getting to the lowest points for performance scale, 76, 75. Still way better than the worst performance that we got before the early days of 140. Like, goddamn, that was awful. We got like 55, 56. And now the bad numbers are around the 70s range. So yeah, that's quite a jump. Which means if I lock my frames at 60 FPS, which is usually what I do because I'm running a 60 Hz panel, that would mean that I can safely play this game at locked 60 with everything maxed out, which is good enough for me. Might not be for some people. There's people that aim for 120 hertz, so ultra settings 120 hertz, not gonna happen. Not with 400% scaling. Perhaps 100% to 100% that might work. 400%, no, forget it. But 60 hertz, 1080p, all maxed out, yes, totally possible. As proven here. Very nice performance improvement compared to what it was before. So we got 69 now. As far as I recall, that's the lowest point so far. 69. Compare that to our old lowest point, which was 50 something. So yeah, that's substantially better. I'm a happy camper today. God, seriously? It was yellow. Oh, whatever. Not like money's a problem right now. Whatever. But yeah. It's gotten substantially better visually. Performance has improved as well. All in all, I'm very happy with what I've seen so far. The numbers are good. Very good. Good job, SCS. I'm very happy, very proud of you guys. Excellent job. Like, it feels like an entire new game. No lighting changed. Just about everything. My only complaint was the performance, and now it's addressed. So like, A+, no cap. It's just yeah, in a hurry now. Let's just deliver this thing, get the points, then yeah, I think that just about closes it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feedback's much appreciated, so if you guys have any suggestions of games you want me to benchmark, anything like that, or anything I'm not doing the way you would expect me to do, comment sections right down below. Don't be shy, voice your opinions. Opinions are appreciated, much appreciated. So yeah, goodbye you all, take care, see you all on the next one.